Here's a video. No.
Bruh.
Here's a breakdown on the new Bedwars Halloween update 2023. For new titles, skins, emotes, and kill effects, go over to this NPC here. She gives you some quests. For daily missions, each one gives you 1,000, and then 5,000 for each of the weekly missions, meaning you can probably get around wait, let me do the math. 29,000 a week, and then you can spend it on whenever you want here. Like for example the corrupted barbarian skin, which is 20,000 candy. I don't know why the image is not loading, but there it is. The kill effects, soul kill effects, pretty cool, and some other stuff, but it's just pretty cool to get because it's extra stuff, you know. For the new kit, you want to head over to this NPC right here that says Crypt Coven and then join the queue. You can see over here you have a limit of 4 keys, and once you use all of them, you won't be able to play again until you get another key, which you get every hour that you don't have 4 keys. Once you're in the game mode, there's 3 different stages. One is basically a puzzle, the second one is pretty much an obby, and the third one is a boss fight. Once you're in stage 1, you want to head over to this gate and press open. It doesn't matter where your teammates are, everyone will watch a cutscene, which is very important to the end of stage 1, so keep note, okay? The altar will appear and it will pull up 8 different colours on each spot. I suggest you take a screenshot. It's not needed, but I recommend it because you need to know the colours later on. Another way of remembering the colours is to write down the first letter of each colour inside of the chat in the order that they appear. Personally, I find this method easier, but you can do whatever you want. Once that cutscene is done, you need to head around the map and look for 8 different candles. There's more than 8 candles, so you don't need to collect all of the candles across the map. There's only 8, there's like 5 nearby straight away. You can see there's one I just collected. There's another one over there which I think my team, never mind, they're not going to collect that. I recommend you keep one person next to the altar to do all the colours while someone else is collecting all the candles, because that way you can leave this area quicker so that people won't die to skeletons or the effects that the altar has on people. The auto effect you can see right here, basically what it does is it takes away 5 or 6 damage from each player every minute. It is permanent damage along with the skeleton's arrows in this map, so the only way to heal is to kill a skeleton, get an apple, and then that will gain you 20 health. Once you collected 8 candles, a sound should play. I don't know if you just heard it, I'll play it again if you didn't. That sound along with the 8 out of 8 candles you can see in the bottom of my screen means you've collected all of the candles and you can go back to the altar. Once you're back at the altar, you can pull up the screenshot of what the colours look like and then match the colour candles to how the colour was on this part before. If you wrote the letters in the chat, you should start sorting them out. If you're confused on where to start, the first candle should be the one right in front of this pillar here. If you don't remember the order of the colours, there's an easy way to check this, which is to pray to the altar, but it will take some help in return. It will check all the candles, and as you can see, it will tell you which colours are right and which ones are not. So blue, yellow, indigo, red, pink, white, green. Okay, easy. Once all the colours are in the right place, you should go back to there and then check the altar again by pressing pray. The school will check all the colours if they're in the right place or not. If they are in the correct place, it will play a cutscene where you jump into a hole, and that will lead to the obby part. Once you're in the obby part, I suggest you go down to the gate immediately. I don't know when the fog starts rising, but I think it's as soon as you open this gate. Fog will start rising. If it touches you, then you die immediately, so you want to be quick on this. First of all, these parts, they're little rocks that disappear and reappear randomly, so you just want to be careful when they disappear. and try to memorize the path that they follow. For this part, you can see these little ghosts which represent how many players need to be on each bridge. You can see on the first bridge there was one ghost, and on this bridge there is one ghost as well, which means there needs to be one player on each bridge. Once all the people are on the correct bridge, one person just needs to go up to one of the gates and press open. Then the gates will open. You should know that there is currently a glitch where if someone joins spectate that wasn't in the game when you originally started, then an extra ghost will be added, and this is the same for the boss fight against Crypt, which you can see right here. Once you're at this part, the glowing rocks won't disappear, but the ones with the grey rocks inside of them will fall down, so you've got to be careful for that. At this part you don't want to touch the borders because they do 30 damage each second, so I suggest you stick to the sides because that way you can avoid the borders the most. The safest way to do this though is to stay at the back and wait for the borders to cross and then go over to the right side, because the borders have less chance of reaching you there than if you were to stick to the left wall. Once you're at the end here, you just want to climb up this ladder and it should lead to the boss fight. First boss is pretty easy, so what you want to do is go straight up to the boss and start spamming him with arrows. The first attack he does is fire skulls at everyone. If you're in the red area, when the skulls hit the ground you will lose 15 health. At this part you want to look at the symbol next to the boss and stand under the pillar that has the same symbol, otherwise in a few seconds all the other pillars will break and the rock underneath you will break, bringing you into the gas which does 13 damage every 0.5 seconds. These pillars will appear after the boss has lost 75% health and 50% health. There will also be walls that appear on each side of the arena. They do 24 damage if you don't go inside the gaps to avoid them. They will also spawn more as the boss loses more health. These walls appear in both the first boss and the second boss. You can also see a ray that Crypt just fired at my friend. What it does is it takes off 3 health every second. It's not a big deal, but you have to be careful for the knockback and the fact that it will reset your timer for regenerating. This part happens when the boss goes below 25% health. It works the same as the ghost on the bridge. The amount of ghosts corresponds to the amount of players that need to be on each rock. If you get this wrong, the rocks will break and will lead you into the gas which does 13 damage every 0.5 seconds. I suggest you stay away from the center when the rocks surface because they can suffocate you. This is a strategy me and my friends used for the second boss. When the first boss dies, immediately go back to the back gate and stay there with your friends, because one of the attacks of the second boss requires you to be near your friends. What will happen is when the second boss spawns, start charging your bow fully and shooting from the back while avoiding the orbs that he fires which do 20 damage and the green flames that he spawns around the map which do a lot of damage as well. At this part you need to head over to the gold platform before the timer runs out, otherwise you will get instantly killed. If you have enough health, I suggest you walk through any walls in the way to make sure you get there in time. Once that part is done, go back to the back gate with your friends again and stick together. The reason you need to stick together is because a green circle will appear around a random player which does 80 damage overall but can be shared across each player. For example, if 4 people are in the circle, each player will lose 20 health. The boss will also fire an orange beam at a random player which deals damage and heals the boss. The damage depends on how close you are to the boss. If you're close, then the damage is higher. Later on in the boss fight, the boss will spawn skeletons around the map. I suggest that you shoot them when they're close by, because otherwise they can do quite a lot of damage and ruin your whole run. If it gets to a point where the skeletons are too close, just run away from them. Don't bother fighting them because they will literally kill you. If it gets to a point where most of your teammates are dead and the boss's health is low, don't bother sticking together, just prioritize moving away from skeletons and shooting the boss. Also try to avoid walls at this point, because if you get below 80 health and you're by yourself, if a green circle appears, then you're pretty much screwed and you are going to lose. That means don't prioritize shooting the boss, Just try to survive until you're at a safe enough place where you can shoot the boss for a few seconds.
Come on! Shoot it! Yes!
Yes! Yes!
Let's go!
What a good boy you are.
Hey yo, what the fuck?
Yes! Yes! Finally!
See that, bro? My degrading
Finally!
worked on. My degrading worked.
Bro, finally! I would just like to point out that this strategy might not work for you. It did take us a while, like about 10 tries to do. We got close on a few of them, as you can see here.
Move!
Shoot! Oh my god!
Shoot it!
No!
No!
But when we started to get a hang of the strategy, a few matches after I won, me and 2 other friends won at the same time as well. If you're interested in the rewards, it gives you the title Crypt Master, which you could have gotten last year by beating the boss Crypt, and it is obviously based on the boss Crypt. You also get the new title Warlock Slayer, which is based on the boss Eldric, and obviously you get the Eldric kit. I would also like to point out that the Eldric skin is only given to people that survive the Eldric boss fight. It doesn't work how I originally thought, where it gives the kit to everyone, even if one person beat it and everyone else died. Anyway, that is the end of my guide. I hope you enjoyed it. I should have a video coming out soon on the best way to use Eldric kit and the best way to counter it, so stay tuned for that.